Hey, what's up, fellas? This is Dr. Varun Gandhi, and you're tuned in to the Gandhi TV. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you guys and your comments and your questions. And love and abundance to you. How are you guys doing today? I hope this finds you in great energy. Today's topic is related to an incident that happened yesterday. So I wake up yesterday morning and my wife, she doesn't wake up in a really good mood for some reason. She takes some time to get out of bed. She's lazing around a little bit. And then she states that I am not going to go to work today. I'm going to take a sick day. Like, okay, cool. That's a good idea. You need to take care of yourself. But then she was hesitating with that decision. She wasn't sure if she could or should, or if it would be wise to take the day off. Just to take care of herself. So she was valuing the job, the company, more than her own self. And that's when I thought, and I told her, advised her, that no, you should take the day off and not do anything related to work. Just get your mind off of work. It's okay. And take care of yourself. Do what you love to do. Spend time with yourself. Go to yoga. Meditate. Spend time around good energy, good vibes. However that shows up for you. But it was hard to actually take the day off, to make that decision. She knows she has a lot of sick days. But when she actually came to making the decision, I asked her, why are you hesitating? And she said, well, I'm not sure if they can handle my job without me, if they'll survive without me. Now, she does have a higher executive role within the company. And I've seen how, in certain cases, occasions, that she, her job is really valuable to the company, what she does, her craft. But anyways, she did good, and she actually took the day off. But I wanted to talk about that hesitation. Why do we feel guilty when we take the day off or when we go on a longer vacation? What's the reason for it, and how can we overcome it so we don't feel guilty, so we do actually take care of ourselves without shaming ourselves for doing so? I know as people in the workforce, we have a hard time with that. When I was working as a consultant, I would constantly work, even on the weekends, because I was single. I had a few friends, but they would work on the weekends, so I would go out and work too. I was used to working constantly. And when I would actually go out and take the day off, I'd feel a little guilty to do that, especially during the work day, during the work week. I would avoid doing that as much as possible, unless it's a longer vacation. Then I know, okay, I'm going to get out and go out and do something. But if it's just the one day off, I rarely ever did that, because I'd feel guilty. I didn't want to feel like I have, let the work pile up. For myself, I wasn't in a higher position, so for me, it was more like, oh, the work is going to pile up. I didn't want that to happen. So why do we feel this way? Why do we feel guilty? The main reason for this is it's actually been programmed within us to be productive from the hours of 8 to 5. 8 to 6. And this happens actually at a very, very young age, and we don't even realize it. So what's been happening is, as we grow up, when we start kindergarten, first grade, and so on and so forth, all the hours are around the 8 to 5 consulting life, around the 8 to 5 work life, right? When the parents are at work, the kids are at school, kindergarten, daycare. And so now the kids, from a very young age, are being programmed to be productive from 8 to 5. And when they're not, they call it extracurricular activities, when they're not in school. Now this carries over into our adult life, and even in college, we're following the same pattern, 8 to 5, 8 to 6. Well, test days, I know we study till late, but that's like taking work home. You're still, working. So we're constantly being in that mode of, productivity from 8 to 5, 8 to 6. And if we don't do that, if we don't meet that expectation in our minds, perception, if we don't meet that, then we feel guilty. We feel like we're doing something wrong. When I quit my job about 5 years ago, it was hard for me at the beginning to get out of this mindset of, hey, it's okay to take a day off, or it's okay to go out and get coffee during the workday. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about taking care of yourself. So you have to do that. It's necessary. Which I'm realizing now that taking care of yourself is necessary. But back then I'd feel guilty about even playing tennis in the afternoon. Because I had that flexibility, I could do it. I'd work later on, catch up later on at night. And sometimes I feel guilty initially. But my roommate, he was an entrepreneur as well, and so we were in the same boat, and he had been an entrepreneur much longer than I was at that time. So he'd coach me through and say, it's okay, we're going to make up for the lost time, so-called lost time, but it's actually you're taking care of yourself, you're enjoying life, which is what you're meant to do. You're meant to enjoy life and not just get stuck and bogged down in work. But then we feel guilty because we're not working. It's a catch-22 situation. You're not taking care of yourself because we're feeling guilty that we're not being productive. And part of it can also be our self-worth. We want to prove something to someone outside of us, that we are worth something. So constantly working. And we don't take time to take off for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, to give us care and nurture. When you're constantly working for another corporation, and when you're putting your energies into another corporation for that corporation to prosper so that you can prosper, if that's a condition that you're living your life with, then your energies are constantly being drained from you, because you're going out there being productive, but you're giving away your energy, your attention to this other company. And they're paying you peanuts for it. Whereas if you would take that same attention that you have during your day and put that on yourself and focus on yourself to improve yourself, and through improving yourself, now you're becoming an entrepreneur and you're being creative. I'm not saying that the corporation, you can't be creative in a corporation, but at least your energy, your attention is being focused on yourself, and you're developing yourself along with your business, your idea. And that was my motivation for switching over from this consulting life to an entrepreneurship life. Because I wanted to focus my energy, my attention on myself. Every morning for about 6 months before I actually quit my job, I'd wake up with this feeling in my stomach like, why am I going to this job? What am I getting out of it? Nothing. So why am I still doing it? There'll always be like this punch in my gut. But most days I'd will through it and push myself because I didn't want to take off. I didn't want to sit at home moping around. So I'd rather distract myself at this job, which I hated. The day I gave my notice, which is actually like a 5-week notice, I felt so relieved because I knew things were shifting for me. That was my motivation for quitting. That was my signal, like, okay, you're done with this consulting life. And it's not quitting, it's leaving it behind because it's no longer serving me. I was just really doing it for the paycheck and finding different reasons to justify this paycheck income, stable income. So when I got out of that consulting life into entrepreneurship, that transition was a little difficult because of this guilt. I had the flexibility, which I loved, but I wouldn't put that to test because I'd be guilty, I'd be ashamed of myself, like I'm not being productive. Even though playing tennis or going out to the pool, swimming, exercising, going out into nature, going for walks, those were the activities that I would indulge in. TV was minimal. But despite that, despite going out there and raising my vibrations, because at that point I didn't see it as raising my vibrations, it was me, quote unquote, wasting time, which wasn't the case. But we all feel like going on a vacation, recharging ourselves, or even just spending one day at home and not doing anything, not putting your energies towards your company, your corporation that you work for, but putting it towards yourself, developing yourself, caring for yourself, nurturing yourself. So I'll tell you this, guys and girls, when you go out there, you're like angels with a lot of this energy. You're going out there and giving it to this corporation. You're becoming these battered angels over time. And you're losing your juice because it's being sucked out slowly and surely by these other entities. That's why we see a lot of people leaving this corporate workforce now, moving into a lifestyle where they have control over it. They're becoming an entrepreneur, a soulpreneur with spirit, with soul, with this eagerness to live life. Not just sit in some room behind a computer, working, slaving away for some other corporation. Now they're putting those energies on themselves, developing themselves, self-improvement, self-realization. It's actually self-love. But even with traveling and going out there and exploring, or even for a hike, if it's a one day off, you're going out there and exchanging energy with nature. You're seeing a different perspective. You're getting out of your comfort zone and actually living life the way it should be lived, with freedom, with expression, with open mind and open heart. And that's kind of hard for us to do. After so many years of following someone else's rules, we still feel like we have to follow their rules. Now guys, we need to start dropping all of these beliefs that we have created in our minds of how we should live our life. Because that society has told us that you have to be productive from 9 to 5. And now we believe it, we embody it, we practice it every day. We have to get out of that mindset. And why can't we work on ourselves as opposed to putting all of this energy and attention to another corporation or another entity for their benefit? Just imagine all those hours that you put away slaving, slogging away for this corporation. If you put that on yourself and became a superhero, just like Doctor Strange. That's my superhero. That's my inner hero, Doctor Strange. Or Wonder Woman, for all you females out there. Why can't we do that? Don't feel guilty. It's okay. Reframe it. Reframe it away from guilt. And reframe it into a positive statement that you're taking care of yourselves. So when you say, I feel guilty for taking the day off, instead say, I feel appreciated. I appreciate that I'm taking the day off because I can love and take care of myself and go out and spend some time alone in nature or around people, pets that make me feel happy. You don't want to go around the people that make you feel down, that pull you down because they're down. You want to recharge yourself. Honestly, the best way to recharge yourself is nature. So reframe your old belief that you have to be productive, you have to do something. Because whatever your reasoning is, you have to do that. Reframe that. Allow it to be okay. Be compassionate with yourself that, hey, I know I'm a top-level executive. Possibly my company may not be able to run without me. But I need time to myself. I need to take care of myself. So what I'm going to do is, before I go out on this vacation, I'm going to make sure that all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. And everything that you're going to be missing in those 2 weeks will be taken care of by someone else. So when you have that planning, now you can go out there, just enjoy yourself without being so focused on technology to get you connected back to the work. So even when you're out there, you may feel guilty, I'm not checking my email and I have to check my email. It's very easy to do that, I know. I've done this. I was in India vacationing during this consulting job, and I would be out there checking my email. Even though I told them I'd put this automated message, I'm not going to be in the office and contact such and such. But I was curious. I wanted to see, okay, what's going on at this work? Am I fired yet? No, just kidding. That's another fear that people have. But work on reframing your fears for why you think or for why you feel guilty. And put it in a sense of you're taking care of yourself, because we have to take care of ourselves. How can you go out there and give love to someone else if you don't have that love inside of you? If your cup is empty, what are you going to give? So remember, we have to refill our cups before we go out there and give. And taking care of ourselves, taking that day off, taking that long vacation, whatever it may be, is perfectly okay. And it's actually doctor's orders right here. Doctor's orders. You've got to go do it. Take that vacation if you haven't taken one in a long time. Go out, de-stress, go to a spa, go to a resort. Go vacation, guys. Spend some time out in nature. Travel. Get a change of scenery. Get a change of view. Because that's going to spark some creativity in you. It's going to bring about clarity. Because you're going away from all the clutter that's in your everyday environment. You're stepping out into a different area, a different zone. You can see things from a different perspective now. When you're at home, you always see things from that same perspective because this is your environment. This is your comfort zone. And in your comfort zone, you're going to think comfortably. But when you step out of your comfort zone, Going out into this world, going out of your office for a conference. Now you're stepping out of your comfort zone. When you step out of your comfort zone, you see things from a different perspective. It's the same thing when you're taking this vacation. You're going to see things from a different perspective. So when you come back to your job, you may have creative ideas that just come up because now you're seeing things from a different perspective. You're taking this time away from looking at the same problems, the same issues the same way, the same mindset. When you take this distance, when you step away, you're gaining perspective on a different mindset, different way to think, a different viewpoint on the same issues, the same problems. When you have that different viewpoint on the same problems, now you can find a more effective solution. So going out into nature and recharging yourself with this energy is also recharging your mental or regenerating your mental batteries. So that now when you come back, you're looking at things from a different perspective. You see a bigger picture. So please make it a point to get out there, go out and travel, take the day off, take care of yourself. Whatever you need in this moment, feel it in your body and do it. Don't feel guilty. Try not to feel guilty. And if you do, reframe it in a way that you're taking care of yourself. You're loving yourself, and you need that. You need the love that you give to other people. You need to give it to yourself more often. You know, that's the journey that I've been on, figuring out ways to love myself more. And as I do this, I'm creating these videos and letting you guys know, hey, I found another way that we don't love ourselves. Here you go. Let's implement. Let's try out something. Try out something new. It's a different perspective that you guys may not have had. So all these videos that I create are really just from my experience and what I see in my daily life. Learn a lesson, come here, share it with you. I implement in my life, let you know what happens, and I come here and share with you. And this is something that has happened a while ago for me. And I'm just bringing it up now because I see it happening with my wife. I know I've felt guilty, and I've had to work through this guilt to reframe this guilt into a positive experience of self-care and self-love. And once I saw it in a different perspective, in a different light, that even though I'm going out there and playing tennis, I'm practicing a skill, but I'm also opening up my mind to new possibilities. So when I live my life, do the same things on a daily basis, my mindset gets stuck in a particular routine. And when you get stuck in this routine, it's not open enough to look at perspectives, multiple perspectives. I'm stuck in my own perspective. But taking the day off, stepping back, will give you a change in perspective, will give you the space that you need to look at things in a different manner, in a different way. And also realize, again, that the energies that you put in, you're giving it away to a different entity. You want to try to focus it on yourself. Another way of doing this is, say you still want to keep your job, but what you could do is instead find a way on how you can improve yourself through your job. So your job is teaching you new things. Now find ways on where you can improve, like speaking or writing or something that you want to work on. And through your job, you can find opportunities to improve on these aspects. So still you can work on self-improvement while you're at your job. But focus on yourself before you give away this energy to this other corporations that are benefiting off of your energy. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. It's been so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of the content that I come up with is from my daily experience. So as I live my life, as I come across these questions, these dilemmas, I bring it up in my episodes, and that's what I'm talking about. How I worked through a particular situation, what worked for me, and hey, here I am sharing with you, hoping that it can benefit you as well. My whole goal is to give you guys a different perspective on things, my perspective, so that when it combines with yours, you'll see things a little differently now. And you're shifting your mindset, you're opening up your mind to new possibilities. That's the end goal. It's to open up your mind so much that, hey, infinite possibilities exist and you believe in it. At that point, you're not expecting anything from life. You're just putting in energy knowing that it's going to manifest. Because there are infinite possibilities. And when I expect a particular possibility, maybe that is the lowest common denominator. And I could have gotten something much more higher. Who knows? So I'm not expecting an outcome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please share, please like, please comment, please pass it on to anyone you may think who can benefit from it. Help me share this message of self-love, and I know you're doing your part in loving yourself as well. Because if this message benefits you, then I know you're going to share it on to other people. And the only way you're going to know if it benefits you is if you actually try it and implement it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love and abundance to you guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.